This video tutorial is setting up the player grading. We're going to go to the navigation button in the upper left hand corner, click on it, click on My Team, and then find the player grading button at the top of the menu. The first thing that we're going to want to do is select our grading categories. These grading categories will stay for every type of play type. So if you want to grade hustle, if you want to grade technique, if you want to grade execution, you can add all of those by clicking here, New Grading Category. Fill out the buttons and then hit Submit. We're going to stick with hustle and just an overall grade for this tutorial. Now you can also select the grading scale. In this particular one, we have 0 to 3. So I'm going to select the Edit button. And instead of 0 to 3, we're going to go with plus and minus. Hit Submit. Now notice that we have a plus and minus for our overall grade, and we have 0 to 3. I encourage people to keep the same grading scale for every category. I know some coaches will have 3, 4, and 5 categories they want to grade their athletes on. We're going to go with 2, and we're going to stay with the same grading scale. So I'm going to go select this one and move over to the plus and minus for this. Now that plus and minus represents a 0 for minus and a 1 for plus. Once we have the grading categories done and the grading scale, we can come down to our different play types. You'll notice that we have every play type that could happen in a football game. We're going to start with offense, and we're going to list our first package and call it base. So go to our base package, it defaults to our first string, and what we need to do now is create all 11 positions. Different coaching staffs will use different titles for each position. On offense, we're going to start with our quarterback, and I encourage you to abbreviate for each position. And then we'll go to our running back. I'm just going to go with 2 right now. Once we have all 11 positions, we can move them around by clicking this button right here. And notice I've got the quarterback and the running back, but if I select these buttons, I can move the order of them. I like to keep the offensive line together, and you can group those so that you can get a grade for the entire offensive line. You can get a grade for all of your linebackers. You can get a grade for all of your defensive backs. Once that's all been set and I've got all 11, now I need to add the starters and I need to assign the coaches that I want grading these players. Now, if I have a small staff, I may want to add all of my coaches. So I'm going to add Ben Marcus as coach for this, and we'll add Ben Marcus for this one since he's our quarterback and running backs coach. And now I need to add my starters. We'll add. So I want to do this with all 11 players. I need to assign the starters, and then I need to assign the coaches. Once I have my first string done, I can add a second string and a third string so that I can come up to the top of my page and I can look at depth charts. And I can hide those depth charts from my team if I'd like by selecting this button right here. So if it's preseason and I don't want my team to see the depth charts yet, I can hide that from them. And then maybe a week before the season, I open it up and allow them to see who the coaches have placed in what position on the depth chart. So that's how you set up player grading. Selecting the categories, selecting the grading category, and then go through each play type, adding all 11 positions. When you're looking at the special teams like kickoff and kick return, you might find it easier just to number them from 1 through 11 rather than creating a position, or maybe you do have positions for each of those. So as you create all those different special teams, they'll all be here all season long for your athletes to check and see where they're at in the depth chart.